Have you ever pondered over the eerie shadow lurking at the corner of your vision? Not just a fleeting illusion, but an uncannily real presence that never truly leaves the periphery of your sight. Is it the simple play of light and darkness, or could it be something more sinister? Something which, although intangible, sends an inexplicable chill down your spine. Perhaps you have also felt an unusual cold in a seemingly mundane room, a chill that doesn't quite align with the weather outside or the room's temperature. The room might appear ordinary, with walls adorned with family photos, a comfortable couch sitting in the corner, and a soft carpet underfoot. But an unexplainable, icy feeling pervades the space, making the hairs on your neck stand up and your heart pound a little faster. Could it be a spectral presence or an unseen entity from another realm? Welcome, dear viewer, to the enigmatic world of demonology, a study that has intrigued and terrified humanity for centuries. It's a realm most primal fears and curiosities converge, where our relentless quest for understanding treads the line between the known and the unknown. It's a study that reaches far back into the annals of human history, beginning with the earliest civilizations. The ancient civilizations, in their quest to make sense of the world, believed in a broad spectrum of supernatural beings. From the ethereal spirits that dwelled in the forests and rivers to the powerful deities watching over them from the heavens, the unexplained phenomena were attributed to these otherworldly beings. Take the Sumerians and Akkadians of Mesopotamia, for instance. These progressive societies had a pantheon of spirits known as Edimu or Ekimu. These spirits were often depicted as winged entities, their terrifying features a far cry from the peaceful gods they worshipped. They were said to traverse between the worlds of the living and the dead, sowing seeds of chaos and discord wherever they went. What truly sets them apart is their belief that these entities were responsible for illness, misfortune, and death. The people lived in constant fear, offering sacrifices and performing rituals to placate these beings. They believed a sudden illness was not just the result of a change in seasons or consumption of bad food. Rather, it was the work of these spirits bringing forth diseases and epidemics. Misfortunes, whether in the form of lost battles or failed crops, were attributed to these malevolent entities. Thus, demonology is not just a study of these frightful entities, but also an exploration into the human psyche, our inherent fears, and our desperate attempts to rationalize the inexplicable. Despite our technological advancements and scientific progress, there's a part of us that still fears unseen and unknown. Our age-old fascination with the supernatural continues to endure, manifesting in the stories we tell, the movies we watch, and the legends we pass down generations. And now, having taken this journey, you might find yourself looking at that lurking shadow or that chilling room in a different light. For these may not be mere figments of your imagination, but manifestations of our primal fears and unspoken anxieties. They believed that these entities were responsible for illness, misfortune, and death. As we journey back to the cradle of civilization, let's delve deeper into the Sumerian and Akkadian pantheon of malicious spirits. The Mesopotamians had an extensive list of demons, each with a unique role and characteristics. First, we encountered the Utukku, believed to be spirits of the dead who were not at rest. They were thought to inflict disease and suffering upon the living. Then there was Asag, a monstrous demon so horrifying that its mere presence caused fish to boil alive in the rivers. Next, we meet Lamashtu, a particularly feared demoness. She was believed to cause harm to mothers and children, especially during childbirth. Reliefs depict her as a lion-headed woman, nursing a pig and a dog while holding snakes in her hands. These demons played a crucial role in society and religion. They were the reasons for the misfortunes and illnesses that befell individuals, and appeasing these demons was a part of daily life. Rituals, amulets, and incantations were used to ward off their influence. Historical texts and artifacts bear witness to these beliefs. For instance, the Maklu text, a Babylonian incantation series, provides a detailed account of the rituals to counteract the demon's effects. Similarly, numerous amulets have been unearthed with inscriptions to protect the wearer from specific demons. These ancient civilizations had a complex and fascinating relationship with their pantheon of demons. These were not merely tales told to frighten children into obedience, but a genuine part of their understanding of the world and its many, often terrifying mysteries. Fast forward to ancient Greece and Rome, where the concept of demons underwent a significant transformation. The cultures that thrived in these ancient civilizations had unique perspectives on the supernatural, and their beliefs drastically shaped and revolutionized the understanding of these mystical entities. The Greeks and Romans didn't see demons in the same light as we do today, as purely malevolent beings. No, their conception was quite different and quite versatile. The term daimon in ancient Greek didn't directly translate to the modern-day conception of demon. It had a broader meaning, a more nuanced interpretation. It referred to a higher power, a divine entity or fate that could sway the course of a person's life. The daimon held great significance in the lives of the Greeks, shaping their beliefs and superstitions. It was a divine power that could bring about either fortune or calamity. These beings weren't always malevolent. They weren't always the harbingers of ill fortune and doom. In many instances, they were seen as benevolent, beneficent forces that could bless the fortunes of individuals or even entire city-states. They were considered guides and helpers that could intervene in human affairs both in positive and negative ways. This dual nature was an intrinsic part of the Greek and Roman understanding of daemons. The Greeks and Romans envisioned these supernatural entities as part of their everyday existence. They believed that these forces were constantly at work, influencing everything, from the personal to the political, from the mundane to the magnificent. These daemons held sway over every aspect of an individual's life, from their health and well-being to their wealth and prosperity. They were seen as omnipresent, affecting every facet of life, from the rise and fall of empires to the harvest of crops. The Greeks and Romans incorporated these beliefs into their rituals, their mythologies, and their storytelling. These daimons were omnipresent in their literature, art, and their philosophies. They were revered, feared, and invoked in religious practices and ceremonies. They were integral to the worldview of these ancient cultures, shaping their understanding of the world around them and their place within it. This concept of daimon not only influenced the people's daily lives, but also profoundly shaped their spiritual and philosophical landscape. The daimons were seen as intermediaries between the gods and humans, influencing the course of events and shaping the destiny of individuals and societies. The daimons were also considered as guardians and protectors of the natural world, reinforcing the connection between the spiritual and the physical realms. In essence, the ancient Greeks and Romans had a complex and multifaceted understanding of these supernatural entities. They weren't just fearsome apparitions to be dreaded and feared. They were also divine beings who could potentially bestow blessings and protection. It's intriguing how these supernatural beings were seen as a part of daily life, influencing everything from a person's health to their wealth. Now let's delve deeper into the concept of the daemon in ancient Greece and Rome. A daemon in these societies was something akin to a guardian spirit. They were believed to be intermediary spirits between gods and humans, guiding individuals throughout their lives. They were the invisible forces that shaped a person's character and destiny. Let's take Socrates, for example. He often spoke of his personal daemon, a voice that guided him, warning him of potential errors and encouraging wise decisions. Socrates' daemon was a guiding force, not a menacing entity. Another example is Eros, often depicted as a playful, mischievous child. Eros, the daemon of love, had the power to stir passion in the hearts of gods and humans alike. These daemons were integral characters in the rich tapestry of Greek and Roman mythology. However, over time, the concept of daemons began to change. With the rise of philosophical schools, some started to view daemons as a person's inner voice or conscience, rather than external entities. This shift marked the beginning of the transformation of the concept of daemon from divine entities to abstract concepts. The Greek and Roman daemon was a far cry from the malevolent demons of later cultures. It's fascinating to see how the concept of supernatural beings evolved over time, adapting to the changing beliefs and philosophies of different societies. Stay tuned as we explore how Christianity further transformed the perception of these supernatural beings. A major shift in demonology came with the advent of Christianity. The religion's early beginnings brought about changes in numerous facets of life, but none more so than in the realm of the supernatural. The beliefs concerning shadowy supernatural entities saw a radical transformation, leading to a change in the overall dynamic of demonology. Previously, various cultures had held different views about demons. Some saw them as mischievous spirits, others as beings of chaos, and still others as divine punishers. However, with the rise of Christianity, the perspective underwent a distinct evolution. The doctrine introduced a new understanding of these entities, classifying them under a dark and sinister category. Demons in this new light were seen as fallen angels. The tale of their fall from grace is one that has been told and retold countless times throughout the course of history. It is said that these angels were once beings of divine might and glory, standing at the pinnacle of the celestial hierarchy. Yet they fell from their exalted positions, becoming the fallen angels that the world knows now. Lucifer, the brightest of them all, was their leader. A figure of great power and wisdom, Lucifer is said to have been the most beautiful of all angels. Enamored by his own radiance and intelligence, he is believed to have let hubris cloud his judgment, to challenge the very authority that created him, God. This rebellion, instigated by Lucifer, led to a celestial war, with the end result being the expulsion of Lucifer and his followers from heaven. This band of fallen angels, now known as demons, became synonymous with evil. They were considered to be soldiers in Lucifer's army, tirelessly working in his service. This belief painted a picture of demons as vile beings, a stark contrast to their angelic origins. The role of demons in Christian theology was not merely that of antagonists. They were also seen as tempters, luring mankind away from the path that God had laid down for them. Their purpose was said to be to entice humans into committing sins, straying from the path of righteousness, and ultimately leading them away from God. These malevolent entities were believed to whisper sweet nothings into the ears of humans, promising them worldly pleasures in return for their obedience. They played on the ear of men, using their desires and fears against them. The constant battle against these demonic temptations became a central theme in Christianity, reinforcing the idea of good versus evil. This perception of demons as fallen angels who lead humans astray became deeply ingrained in Western culture. It influenced centuries of religious teachings, literature, and art. Demons became the personification of the fears and sins of mankind, a concept that has transcended the religious boundaries of Christianity and seeped into other aspects of culture. Theatre, literature, and even modern-day films and television series have all been influenced by this portrayal of demons. They serve as a symbol of the internal struggle each individual faces, a constant reminder of the battle between our better angels and our inner demons. This perception became deeply ingrained in Western culture and has heavily influenced our modern understanding of demons. With each passing century, the mythos surrounding these beings continues to evolve, yet the essence of their role as fallen angels leading humans astray remains essentially the same: the scene script, voiceover. As Christianity gained prominence, demons transformed in the collective consciousness, taking on a new form, fallen angels. These celestial beings, once in the grace of God, were said to have been cast out of heaven for their rebellion. They were led by Lucifer, the most beautiful and powerful of all angels, until his pride led him to challenge God. In Christian theology, Lucifer and his followers, the fallen angels, occupy a significant role. They are the embodiment of evil, the antithesis of God's love and purity. They are depicted as cunning, deceptive beings, constantly tempting humans to stray from the path of righteousness, to succumb to their base desires and turn their backs on God. Numerous biblical texts provide examples of this demonic temptation. The book of Genesis recounts the story of Adam and Eve, who were enticed by the serpent, a symbol often associated with Lucifer, to eat from the tree of knowledge of good and evil, leading to their expulsion from paradise. Another prominent example is the temptation of Christ, where Satan himself tries to lure Jesus into sin during his 40 days in the desert. These stories and teachings have left an indelible mark on Western culture. They have shaped our perception of good and evil, right and wrong. They have also fueled a deep-seated fear and fascination with these supernatural entities, who were once divine but fell from grace. Christianity's fallen angels, therefore, have had a profound impact on our understanding of demons, an impact that continues to resonate to this day. The Middle Ages saw a heightened fear of demons and the devil. This was a time distinctly marked by the chilling and ominous sense of the supernatural that pervaded the society, a sentiment deeply ingrained in the hearts and minds of the people. The dread was palpable, the atmosphere heavy with mistrust, anxiety, and the foreboding sense of an unseen enemy lurking in the shadows. During this turbulent period, the lives of ordinary citizens were filled with stories of malevolent spirits. Conversations were laden with whispered tales of apparitions in nightmarish creatures hiding under the bed and evil forces that twisted the minds of the innocent. This was a society gripped by the terror of the unseen, the unknown, and the inexplicable. Society during this period was dominated by religious institutions that wielded enormous power and influence. The Church, in its quest to maintain control and consolidate its power, played a role in perpetuating the fear of evil forces, condemning anything that they deemed out of the ordinary or unexplainable as the work of the devil. The Church's influence was instrumental in shaping the perception of supernatural entities during the Middle Ages. Amidst this setting, witch hunts emerged as a terrifying phenomenon. Rumours of witches, who were believed to be in league with the devil, spread like wildfire. Men and women were accused of practicing dark arts and holding clandestine meetings under the cloak of darkness. These witch hunts became notorious events, with accused individuals subjected to brutal trials and horrifying punishments. The belief that humans could form pacts with demons for gain was deeply rooted in the public consciousness. People were petrified of the idea that their neighbours could be using demonic powers to bring them harm or sabotage their lives. This powerful belief led to a pervasive paranoia, with countless innocent lives ruined under the shadows of suspicion and dread. The infamous Malleus Maleficarum, a guide for witch hunters, was published during this period. This book was not just a mere guide, it represented the embodiment of the paranoia and fear that characterized the era. Its contents were as dark as the times it was born into. Detailed descriptions of witchcraft, demonic possession, and methods of identifying and punishing witches filled its pages, providing a chilling insight into the mindset of the society during this period. The fear of the supernatural was not just limited to witches and demons. The Middle Ages was a time where superstition ruled over reason, and myths and legends held sway over scientific understanding. People lived in a constant state of terror, looking over their shoulders for fear of attracting the wrath of unseen entities. The Malleus Maleficarum further fueled the fear and misunderstanding of these supernatural entities. It proved to be the catalyst that precipitated an escalation in the witch hunts, leading to a period of unrelenting terror. For many years, society lived under the dark cloud of suspicion, mistrust, and fear. The power of superstition, paranoia, and blind faith in the supernatural ruled the minds of the people, leaving a macabre legacy that resonates even today. The Middle Ages were a time of fear and misunderstanding when it came to demons. This period was marked by a heightened sense of paranoia and superstition, with a strong belief in the tangible presence of evil forces in the world. Witch hunts and exorcisms were common occurrences. People were convinced that witches, individuals who were believed to have formed pacts with demons, roamed among them. These alleged witches were often subjected to brutal trials and punishments, with many losing their lives in the process. This fear was not baseless. It was deeply rooted in the belief that humans could form pacts with demons for personal gain, a concept that was widely propagated during this time. These alliances with the demonic were seen as a direct affront to God and a grave sin. Consequently, those accused of such alliances were aggressively persecuted. One of the key texts that fueled this fear was the Malleus Maleficarum, a guide for witch hunters. Published during this period, it served as a manual on identifying, interrogating, and prosecuting witches. It detailed the supposed signs of demonic possession and ways to extract confessions, further exacerbating the fear and misunderstanding of these supernatural entities. The Middle Ages, hence, were a dark time in the history of demonology. It was a period where fear overpowered reason and misunderstanding clouded judgment. The fear of the demonic was so deeply ingrained in the psyche of the people that it led to a widespread hysteria that would take centuries to dispel. Demonology took a scientific turn during the Enlightenment Era. This was a period of profound intellectual evolution that took place in the late 17th and 18th centuries, marked by an emphasis on reason and individualism, a shift from traditional to modern thinking, and an urge to debunk the unexamined beliefs of the past. During this era, the world saw a significant increase in scientific exploration and intellectual curiosity. Great minds began to emerge, pushing the boundaries of human knowledge and understanding. Among the myriad subjects of study, demonology, a discipline often relegated to the realm of the supernatural, began attention from a more scientific perspective. Scholars and thinkers of the Enlightenment era, armed with a newfound zeal for empirical evidence and logical reasoning, started to question the existence of supernatural beings. These entities, once feared and worshipped in various cultures, were now under the scrutiny of rational inquiry. The scholars dared to challenge the long-standing beliefs and assumptions surrounding these entities, embarking on a quest to find naturalistic explanations for phenomena that were previously ascribed to the supernatural. What was once attributed to demonic possession or intervention, like unexplained illnesses, natural disasters, or even simple misfortune, began to find rational explanations. The advancements in various scientific fields offered new perspectives. Medicine began to identify illnesses and their causes, meteorology could explain weather phenomena, and psychology opened up a new understanding of human behavior. All these developments contributed to a shift in the perception, reducing the reliance on the supernatural to explain the unexplained. However, this scientific approach to demonology did not completely erase the belief in demons. As humans, we have a complex relationship with the unknown and the unseen. Despite the progress and rational explanations, the belief in supernatural entities persisted. Some people continued to believe in the existence of demons due to cultural, religious, or personal reasons, while others saw them as metaphors or symbols representing our inner conflicts and fears. Instead, this scientific revolution led to a more nuanced understanding of these entities. The Enlightenment era scholars did not necessarily dispel the existence of demons, but their approach prompted of how we perceive them. It led to a reinterpretation, where demons were not always seen as malevolent supernatural beings, but also considered as personifications of our human fears, insecurities, and struggles. This shift towards a more balanced view of demonology has had lasting impacts. It opened up new cultural narratives and philosophical debates, contributing to the discourse on morality, human nature, and the limits of scientific understanding. In conclusion, while the Enlightenment era inspired a scientific approach to demonology, it did not eradicate the belief in demons. Instead, it led to a more nuanced understanding of these entities. As the Age of Enlightenment dawned, the study of demonology took a distinct turn towards the scientific and rational. This era saw a wave of intellectual and philosophical movement that swept across Europe, challenging the traditional beliefs and superstitions that had long dominated the society. The existence of supernatural beings, once accepted without question, was now under scrutiny. Inquisitive minds began to question the very existence of these entities, preferring to seek natural explanations for phenomena that were once attributed to the supernatural. Thunderstorms were no longer the wrath of the gods. They were natural meteorological events. Illnesses were not punishments inflicted by demons. They were the result of bacteria and viruses. However, despite this shift towards rationality, the belief in demons persisted. While their existence was questioned, the fascination with these entities remained. Instead of eradicating the belief in demons, the Enlightenment era led to a more nuanced understanding of these entities. The Enlightenment brought a new perspective to demonology, but it did not erase the belief in demons. Instead, it laid the groundwork for the varied views we see in the modern era, from psychological interpretations to literal beliefs. In our next section, we will examine how these perspectives have evolved in the modern era. In the modern era, the study of demonology has become more varied. It has expanded from its religious roots, branching out into new areas and challenging perspectives. This variation is due to a multitude of factors, including cultural evolution, technological advancements, and the changing perspectives of society. An era marked by information accessibility, the current digital age, has allowed for the study of demonology to be more comprehensive and extensive than ever before. In the context of this transformation, some view demonology as a psychological study. They posit that demons represent entities, but rather symbolic representations of our internal struggles. This view is deeply rooted in the psychoanalytic tradition, drawing from theories advanced by the likes of Sigmund Freud and Carl Jung. They've proposed that our subconscious minds can create beings of malevolence as a means to cope with repressed emotions, trauma, and fear. This perspective has gained traction, especially in the field of mental health, where it serves to explain phenomena such as hallucinations and delusions. This psychological approach to demonology has been influential in shaping modern interpretations and has sparked numerous academic debates around the nature of evil, fear, and the human mind. It's an approach that has been explored in depth, particularly in psychological and horror literature, where the concept of the inner demon is frequently employed. However, despite the growing acceptance of this perspective, there are those who continue to believe in the literal existence of these entities. They argue demons are real, tangible beings, capable of physical manifestation and exuding malevolent intent. This belief is often rooted in religious or spiritual convictions, resulting in an unshakable faith in the existence and power of these supernatural entities. This belief in the literal existence of demons has led to the creation of numerous books, movies, and TV shows. The entertainment industry in particular has capitalized on this fascination. The idea of demonic possession, the belief that a person's actions can be influenced or controlled by a demon, provides a thrilling narrative. Similarly, the concept of exorcism, the religious or spiritual practice of evicting demons or other spiritual entities from a person who is believed to be possessed, adds another layer of intrigue and suspense. These themes continue to be explored across a multitude of genres, from horror to fantasy and even comedy. This only further emphasizes the extent to which the study of demonology has penetrated our culture and shaped our understanding of the world. The fascination with demons, with the struggle between good and evil, is an age-old conflict that continues to captivate audiences worldwide. Yet, whether interpreted as symbolic representations of internal struggles or viewed as literal beings of malevolence, the study of demonology remains as intriguing as ever. This field continues to evolve, providing new insights into the human condition and the nature of evil. Others continue to believe in the literal existence of these entities, leading to the creation of numerous books, movies, and TV shows centered around demonic possession and exorcism. Voiceover. Now, let's delve deeper into the modern era, where interpretations and representations of demons have become more varied, complex, and intriguing than ever before. Firstly, we can see a significant shift towards viewing demonology as a psychological study. The demons of our time are often seen as symbolic representations of our internal struggles, our fears, and our anxieties. They are the embodiment of the darkness within us, a metaphor for the battles we fight within our minds. On the other hand, there are those who continue to believe in the literal existence of these entities. This belief has had a profound impact on popular culture, leading to the creation of numerous books, movies, and TV shows that explore the themes of demonic possession and exorcism. Let's take a moment to acknowledge some of these popular works. For instance, the novel and subsequent film adaptation of The Exorcist continues to chill audiences with its vivid portrayal of demonic possession. Similarly, TV shows such as Supernatural have managed to weave complex narratives around the existence of demons, captivating audiences worldwide. But it doesn't stop there. Demons have also found their place in video games, graphic novels, and music, contributing to a rich and diverse cultural landscape. In conclusion, demons today are as much a part of our culture as they were in ancient times. They have evolved from being feared deities to fascinating characters in our stories, embodying our deepest fears and serving as a mirror to our society's collective psyche. We may not offer sacrifices to them as our ancestors did, but we continue to grapple with their presence, whether real or symbolic, in our everyday lives. In conclusion, demonology has evolved significantly over centuries, from being a fundamental part of ancient religions to a source of fear during the Middle Ages, to a more scientific and psychological study in recent times. The study of demons, or demonology, has its roots in the earliest recorded histories of humankind. It is a deeply rooted concept, emerging from the belief systems of many ancient societies. From the primal deities of the ancient Sumerians to the malevolent spirits of the ancient Egyptians and the numerous demonic entities of the Greeks and Romans, demonology has been an intrinsic part of our collective consciousness. In these early periods, demonology was seen as an integral component of religion. These demonic entities were considered as powerful forces that could influence human life in profound ways. They were revered, appeased, and sometimes feared. Many of the ancient rituals, ceremonies, and traditions were centered around these entities. They were considered as intermediaries between the mortal world and the divine realm. As societies evolved and Christianity took root, demonology transformed. From being deities and spirits of nature, demons morphed into embodiments of evil acting in direct opposition to the forces of God. The Middle Ages were marked by a dramatic interpretation of demonology. This was a period of fear and superstition, where witch trials and exorcisms were commonplace. Anyone accused of consorting with demons subjected to severe punishment, often leading to death. The Renaissance period brought a shift in perspective. There was a newfound emphasis on science and reason. Yet, demonology remained central to many narratives. Shakespeare's plays, for instance, are rife with references to demons and the supernatural. In Macbeth, the witches and their prophecies serve as catalysts for the tragic chain of events that follow. The Enlightenment Era further propelled the shift towards a scientific understanding of demonology. There was a growing interest in understanding the psychological aspects of these beliefs. Scholars started exploring the idea of demons as metaphors for human fears, desires, and the darker aspects of our psyche. As we moved into the 20th and 21st centuries, demonology took on an even more scientific and psychological dimension. It was now seen as a study of cultural and historical and the psychological impact of such beliefs on individuals and societies. The field of parapsychology emerged, generating scientific investigations into paranormal phenomena. The portrayal of demons in popular culture also underwent a transformation. They were no longer just symbols of fear and evil. They became complex characters, embodying moral ambiguities and raising philosophical questions about good and evil. They have been represented in countless books, movies, and television shows, reflecting our ongoing fascination with the supernatural. Despite the differences in perception, one thing remains constant: the fascination and fear associated with these supernatural entities. They continue to captivate us, to make us question the unknown, and to add a hint of mystery to our otherwise ordinary lives. As we delve deeper into the realm of the supernatural, no study of demonology would be complete without a look at some of the conspiracies and controversies surrounding it. In the wake of our fascination and fear, there have sprouted a number of theories that question the very foundation of demonology. Firstly, let's consider some popular conspiracy theories related to demons. These range from secret societies allegedly worshipping these entities to claims of governmental involvement in demonic rituals. Some theorists even argue that influential figures in our society are, in fact, demons in disguise. Moving on, we come across controversial practices and beliefs in modern demonology. There are instances where demonology has been used as a scapegoat for mental health issues, leading to harmful practices such as unwarranted exorcisms. Additionally, the commercialization of demonology in popular culture often trivializes the seriousness of these entities, leading to a skewed perception of their true nature. Lastly, let's discuss the impact of these controversies on the field of demonology. These theories and practices, while controversial, have significantly influenced the public's perception of demonology. They have created a divide between skeptics and believers, adding another layer of complexity to this already intricate field. In conclusion, despite the controversies, demonology continues to captivate our curiosity. It serves as a mirror to our fears, our fascination, and our desire to understand the unknown. As we step into the future, the study of these supernatural entities will continue to evolve, influenced by our changing perceptions and beliefs.